Hi everyone, Bill Rentschler in the 1011 streaming studio. Hope everyone is having a nice Wednesday. Jumping into the forecast, as going to see another hot and breezy day today. Also going to see the threat for some severe weather across parts of the state as we head into this afternoon and into this evening. So it'll be something we're going to want to watch out for. But again, one of the big stories, especially over the last several days and really so far this year, is the dry conditions across the state. We'll touch on that again here as we start off. First, looking at the Lincoln Weather Almanac numbers from yesterday. You got another warm day, another breezy day. 88 your high temperature yesterday, well above our normal of 74, and the low of 50, right where we should be. Again, still just 2,100ths of an inch of moisture so far this month. Again, those were spread out over the first 2 days of the month, so now over 4.5 inches below normal for the entire year when it comes to our liquid precipitation here in the capital city. And again, that is good for now through today's date, because we're not going to see any moisture today for the fifth driest start to the year on record here in the capital city, which again is pretty incredible. Just again, about 3.25 inches of moisture so far this season, which again is like I just said, about 4.5 inches below normal. We are hoping for some rain. There are some chances for rain in the forecast over the coming days, and certainly as we look ahead to early next week. So hopefully we can get ourselves off of this list. I know yesterday driving out to central Nebraska, again, every single pivot was going and had water going, crossing over the Platte River. The Platte River is completely dried up. So again, not just here in Lincoln, but across much of the state. Again, we've seen that reflected in the drought monitor over the recent weeks. 100% of the state covered in some sort of drought. But again, like I mentioned, we do have some wet rain chances in the forecast, not only today with the potential for some severe storms across parts of the state, but potentially a wetter pattern trying to kind of come together as we head into the early parts of the work week next week, which we'll take a look at here in just a minute. Low temperatures this morning on the mild side, mid-50s to mid-60s across the state, including 65 here in the capital city. On the Tempest weather stations across town, it was generally upper 50s, low 60s for most areas, including 64 degrees here in the capital, or in the 1011 studios. And right now, plenty of sunshine as we start our Wednesday here in the capital city. It's 74 both at the studio and at the airport. A little bit of an east-southeast breeze around 10 miles an hour. That's going to be picking up as we head into the day today. Expect another breezy day. Going to see a couple breezy and windy days over the next several days, and dew points a little bit on the high side, again into the low 60s, so humidity's up to 66%. Again, I don't think dew points are going to be terrible over the next couple days, but again, may feel it at least for a time today before those dew points begin to retreat into the day tomorrow. Temperatures on the Tempest stations across town are in the 60s and 70s, and temperatures across the state also in the 60s and 70s. Warm spot right now is in Tacoma. They're at 75 degrees. It's 71 in Grand Island and 63 in North Platte. Dew points are a little bit higher today compared to yesterday when we were in the upper 40s, low 50s. Again, those strong southerly winds yesterday bringing in some moisture. More strong southerly winds today will continue to kind of keep some moisture in the area. So again, a little bit of moisture out there, a little bit of humidity, but overall not too bad. But again, will be kind of brief as we'll see more westerly and northwesterly winds as we head into the day tomorrow, and that's going to lead to lower dew points. Winds right now aren't too bad out of the east and southeast at around 5 to 15 miles an hour. We can already see the cold front beginning to push into parts of western Nebraska. Northerly winds for the panhandle, and that cold front's going to be the focus for the potential for some severe thunderstorms later on this afternoon and this evening, and already pretty breezy behind that front. Those winds gusting up to 30 to around 40 miles an hour, I think, through the day today. For most of the 1011 coverage area, we're going to look for those southerly, southeasterly winds gusting between 20 and 30 miles an hour throughout the day. But right now, at least this morning, winds aren't too bad. Satellite radar picture, again, is pretty quiet for right now. Visible satellite imagery, again, showing a little bit of cloud cover across the western sections of the state, but really, again, a lot of sunshine for most of the state. Again, I think we'll see increasing cloudiness as we head, especially late this afternoon and into the evening time frame as when those storms begin to fire up and we start to see those chances for moisture return to the forecast. Regional view, again, overall, things are pretty quiet. You look at a national view, overall, things are pretty quiet. Kind of two systems. One area of low pressure kind of spinning up into the northeast, bringing some scattered showers. Nothing major to the area. Another area of low pressure and cold front kind of across, again, the Intermountain West. That's bringing rain and snow showers again to parts of the Dakotas, into Montana, Idaho, Wyoming. That's the system that's going to be moving through the area as we head over the next day or two, bringing in those chances for rain, breezy conditions, and tomorrow, at least, we'll start to see some cooler conditions for us as well. So if you look at the weather alerts, again, nothing too major right now. We do have some pretty intense heat down across parts of South Texas. They have a number of heat advisories, extreme heat warnings that are in place, critical fire conditions across parts of the desert areas down into New Mexico and Arizona. Here at home, though, we have, again, some high wind alerts for parts of South Dakota, winter weather advisories, winter storm warnings in the higher elevations across the parts of the northern Rockies with the system that's currently moving through. So if we check out Skycast, again, through at least the morning into the early afternoon, the weather should be pretty quiet, mainly sunny skies for most. But as we head into the afternoon, we're going to start to see a chance for some of those thunderstorms begin to bubble up across parts of the Sandhills in western Nebraska. Those do have the potential to be on the strong to severe side, with all modes of severe weather possible today, including maybe a tornado or two, large hail, and damaging wind gusts. And then as we head into this evening and towards later tonight, we'll start to see those thunderstorms continue to kind of expand in coverage across especially the northern tier of the state and parts of western Nebraska. Here in Lincoln, and again, I think areas along and south of the interstate are kind of right on the fringe region of this. I think the best chances are going to be across, again, north central and northeastern Nebraska, but we see by 10 o'clock a pretty robust line of thunderstorms across the northern tier of the state. Those will sweep through the area pretty quickly. I think past 10 o'clock, a lot of that activity, again, begins to push out of the area. We'll see some wraparound moisture into northern Nebraska as we head into Thursday morning. Again, they'll go along with cooler and breezy conditions. Some of that wraparound moisture will kind of wrap its way through central parts of the state through the morning hours before it begins to kind of fizzle out and fade as some drier air begins to move into the region. Meanwhile, again, here in Lincoln and across the southern parts of the state, I think we're generally going to be looking at dry conditions, though there is at least a small chance that we could see one of those showers or thunderstorms late this evening, potentially into the early part of the overnight hours. And then as we head into the day on Thursday, it will be a windy day on the back end of this area of low pressure with westerly and northwesterly winds, again, potentially gusting as high as 40 to maybe 45 miles an hour at times, but mainly clear skies and generally dry conditions as some of that drier air overtakes the region. And then as we head into the day on Friday, again, we're looking at another mostly sunny and breezy day across the region with dry conditions as that area of low pressure, again, continues to kind of spin its way through the northern tier of the state. So if you look at the rainfall potential, this is over the course of the next week. And again, unfortunately, we're kind of smashed between two areas that look like they're going to see some pretty decent moisture. Across the northern plains, especially the North Dakota, South Dakota, and into parts of northern Nebraska. We think over the course of the next week, and a lot of this could be coming with this system as we head over the next day or so, they could see several inches of rain. They're talking maybe some areas looking at 3, 4, 5 inches of rain, which is desperately needed. And again, areas then kind of off to our south and to our east, across parts of Iowa, Missouri, over towards Illinois, Kentucky. Again, those areas could see 2, 3, maybe 4 inches of rain over the course of the next week. It does look like, though, again, for much of the state, some very beneficial moisture could be falling as we head over the course of the next week. And again, much of the state could be picking up anywhere from half an inch to maybe a couple inches of rain, depending on where you are and again where some of those thunderstorms impact the state. Again, right now, I think the potential for rainfall will be highest across the northern tier of the state. Part of that driven, I think, by the potential for thunderstorms as we head into this evening. Then as we head with some of that wraparound moisture into the day on Thursday. So again, here in Lincoln, again, we desperately, and again everywhere across the state, we desperately need some moisture. And it looks like at least over the course of the next week, we're going to see multiple chances, not only tonight into the day tomorrow, but again into early next week. It looks like another system could be bringing some widespread beneficial rainfall to the state as well. So the severe weather outlook for the day today, we do have that marginal and slight risk for severe weather. Again, that's slight risk extending kind of back towards McCook and Imperial, North Platte, Broken Bow, up towards, again, Valentine, Ainsworth, O'Neill, into the northeastern corner of the state. That's where we think the potential for strong to severe thunderstorms is likely going to be highest as we head through the day today. Again, Lincoln, Lancaster County, kind of right on the edge of that marginal risk. So there's an outside chance we could see a strong to severe storm as we head into this evening. Better chances are going to be, again, across parts of western and into northern sections of the state, though. But again, all modes of severe weather will be possible. There is at least a low-end threat for tornadoes across much of the area. The best chance for tornadoes, I think, would be with cells and thunderstorms that are more isolated as storms initially develop, and it looks like that would be kind of across parts of southwestern Nebraska into the central sections of the state where we kind of have that oranged outline with a medium threat for tornadoes as we head into the day today and into this afternoon and into this evening. So there is the threat for maybe a tornado or two across parts of the state, threat for wind as well, and then also large hail would be one of the primary threats for us, and likely would be large hail, damaging winds, areas of heavy rain, and then tornadoes in terms of kind of the threats we're concerned about as we head through the day today. Into the day tomorrow, that threat for severe weather shifts off to our east. Got an enhanced risk across parts of Wisconsin into Michigan, northern Illinois, northern Indiana. Slight risk covering much of the Great Lakes regions, back down towards the St. Louis area. But again, here at home, we're not expecting any severe weather and not expecting any severe weather on Friday either, with that threat mainly off to our east and off to our southeast. So if we zoom in, take a closer look, statewide view, I don't think there's really much for us to worry about this morning, but as we start to head into the afternoon, we'll start to see some of those thunderstorms begin to develop, likely across parts of the Sandhills into the Panhandle. But again, as those storms do develop and as they initially develop, as they're more discrete or isolated, not a big linear kind of jumbled mess of a system, I think that's when the threat for any tornadoes would be highest. As we head past 5 o'clock, we'll continue to see some of that thunderstorm coverage begin to expand across parts of western and northern Nebraska. I think by 10 o'clock tonight, most of the activity is going to be centered across, again, the northern tier of the state. Again, the big question will be is how far south can these storms get? So again, right in here, kind of the Tri-Cities over towards Lincoln, how far south could we get that line to extend? So I think there's a chance. It's not a great chance. I think there's better chances that we really don't see anything, but we'll call it maybe 20-30% that we could see an isolated strong to severe thunderstorm again here in the Lincoln area into Lancaster County. So again, chances there, not great, but it's at least a chance, which is better than what we've had the last couple days. Also with this cluster of thunderstorms, could see the potential for some areas of very heavy rain. It wouldn't surprise me if when this is all said and done, we saw some areas across the northern tier of the state that maybe pick up 1, 2, maybe 2.5 inches of rain with some of these thunderstorms as they rotate their way through the area. So as we head past 10 o'clock tonight, again, I think the threat will mainly be across the northern tier of the state, but then as we head through the overnight hours, those storms will continue to kind of slide through the northeastern part of the state, and then into early Thursday morning, some wraparound moisture across the northern tier of the state will continue to be possible before, as dry air kind of settles into the region, it kind of eats up that moisture, and I think by the noon hour, most areas are likely dry, but we will be cooler, and we will be breezy to windy as we head then into Thursday afternoon, with mostly to partly sunny skies across the state. Towards Thursday night, that wind will begin to settle down, but even then as we head into the day on Friday, close enough to that area of low pressure that we'll still look for more breezy conditions across the state, with mostly to partly sunny skies, but dry conditions for the day on your Friday. So if we look at those winds again into this afternoon, it's not going to be terrible, but we'll look for a breezy south and southeast wind gusting 20 to 30 miles an hour for much of central and eastern Nebraska. But then as we head tonight into the day tomorrow, on the back end of that area of low pressure, we'll see even stronger winds. I think into the afternoon, widespread wind gusts 30 to 40, maybe 45 miles an hour out of the west and northwest across much of the 10-11 coverage area. So again, windy conditions into the day on your Thursday. That will persist through the afternoon into the evening, and as we head towards sunset, that wind will begin to die down for us. But then again, as we head into the day on Friday, we'll basically be looking at, again, more wind heading our way, winds gusting maybe 30 to 40 to maybe 45 miles an hour again on Friday and into Friday afternoon, Friday evening, before that wind settles down as we head towards sunset Friday night. So if we take a look at the bigger picture, the upper level pattern, as we head over the next day or so, again, upper level trough to our west is going to be swinging through the region as we head over the next day or so. That's going to be driving some of the, busier weather over the next day or so across the central parts of the country. And then as we head towards the weekend, again, start to see a little bit of a ridge begin to build back into the region, but then into early next week, another upper level trough, another area of low pressure kind of rotates its way through the area, and that looks like it'll continue to bring in some active weather as we head through potentially the first half of the week next week. So if we look at the long-range models, again, looking at the European model, as we head Sunday into Monday, it has an area of low pressure developing and then swinging through the region as we head into the day on Monday. That would hopefully bring some widespread beneficial rainfall to the region Monday afternoon, Monday evening, Monday night, and that could continue then as we head into the day on your Tuesday as well, before that system finally exits the region. And then the European model then has another system heading our way as we we head Wednesday into Thursday. So again, multiple chances for rain in the forecast as we head over the coming days, which is something we desperately need with how dry it's been over the course of the last really for the whole year so far. So again, that's something we'll keep a close eye on in the Weather Center as we head over the next couple days. So make sure you keep it tuned to the latest forecast as we head over the next several days, as we still have, again, plenty of time before that system early next week gets heads our way. So make sure you keep up with the latest forecast details. Now, as far as temperatures are concerned, another hot day today, especially in eastern and southeastern Nebraska. We're going to see highs back into the upper 80s, low 90s. It's going to be cooler, though, in the west as that cold front begins to move in. We'll see highs only reaching the upper 60s, low 70s for parts of the Panhandle, low to mid 80s then as you head across parts of southwestern Nebraska, and then eventually, like I said, into the upper 80s to near 90 for the eastern sections of the state. Low temperatures tonight into Thursday morning, 40s and 50s and 60s from west to east, but then cooler weather settles into the region as we head then to the late the second half of the work week into the weekend, and then early next week. High temperatures tomorrow, 60s, 70s, and low 80s across the state. Lows into Friday morning, again 40s and 50s. Highs on Friday, again, 60s, 70s to maybe low 80s from west to east across the state. Into Saturday morning, could see some spots drop down into the 30s across parts of the Sandhills into the Panhandle, but it's upper 30s to upper 40s for most. Into Saturday, a pretty cool, comfortable start to the weekend, upper 60s to upper 70s across the state for highs. Into Sunday morning, again, 40s and low 50s, and then Sunday afternoon, again, 50s, 60s, and 70s for high temperatures across the state. So much cooler than we've been really for the first half of the month, a little bit closer to normal for us as we head late this week into the weekend, and even cooler, below normal temperatures than expected as we head into early next week. So again, Lincoln 7-day forecast, hot and breezy today, small chance 20% for maybe a thunderstorm this evening, late tonight. There is an outside chance that it could be on the strong to severe side, though the best chance for the severe weather will be across north central, northeastern parts of the state, and then back into kind of southwestern Nebraska as well. Excuse me, cooler, but still warm and windy on Thursday with highs in the low 80s, upper 70s Friday, breezy, and then seasonal Saturday, Sunday, and then below normal temperatures Monday, Tuesday, and then we start to see those increasing chances for showers and thunderstorms into the first half of the week next week as well. 10-day forecast for select cities across the state. By far and away, you can see today is our last really kind of hot day, and then things get cooler, more seasonal, if not below average, as we head through the bulk of the next week to week and a half. Dew points, again, still look like they'll be held in check. Again, it'll be maybe a little bit on the muggy side today. Dew points into the low 60s, but then you can see that drier air settles back into the region for Thursday, Friday, into the weekend before those dew points climb at least a little bit through the week next week, but still look like they'll be fairly reasonable for us. Precip chances, again, we can see highest today across the northern tier of the state. Lowest precip chances will be along and south of the interstate. Mainly dry Thursday, except for, again, north central kind of sections of the state have a decent chance for additional moisture into Thursday morning. Friday, Saturday look dry. Start to see those small chances for moisture return on Sunday. And then, again, Monday, Tuesday of next week, we'll keep a close eye on those chances as another system heads our way that, again, as I mentioned, could bring that widespread beneficial rainfall to the state. 8 to 14-day temperature outlook taking us May 21st through May 27th. Favors below normal temperatures across the region, across especially much of Nebraska, much of the Great Lakes region. Again, this is going to take us again kind of through the Memorial Day holiday weekend, which I know a lot of folks want to get out, get the grill out, pools opening up, but it does look like maybe some cooler than average weather could be kind of hanging around through that time frame. And then the precipitation outlook, again, kind of equal chances for above and below average precipitation across much of the region. Looks like it'd be below average across the western parts of the country, maybe above average for areas off to our east. So do actually have kind of a lot to keep our eyes on as we head over the course of especially the next day or so with that threat for severe weather tonight. And then we'll keep an eye on those chances for additional showers and thunderstorms as we head into the early parts of the work week for us next week as well. But the point being is we have chances for rain. We desperately need rain, and so we'll keep our fingers crossed that we can see the rain and kind of see minimal severe weather. But again, it is that time of year where even with the chances for moisture early next week, we'll also be watching for the threat for severe weather as well. But again, it does look like multiple chances for moisture over the course of the next week, which is what we'd like to see and what we desperately need with how dry it has been. So we'll keep our fingers crossed that we can see some of that good moisture. So appreciate everyone for tuning in and watching again. Again, if you like the hot weather, again, got one more day today for you, but then some cooler weather and settling into the areas we had Thursday and into the weekend and into much of the week next week. So appreciate everyone for tuning in, watching. Again, make sure you keep tuned to 1011 both on air and online, especially as we potentially see some busier weather over the coming days for all of your latest forecast details. So until next time, hope everyone has a nice Wednesday.